Q231 England. 73 Northern Ireland, we're out.
Bump, bump, bump. Hello, 231. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, sir. How are things your side?
Not too awful bad. I've got you 5758. I'm getting some weird QRM over here. It's almost like somebody's sitting in between us and 365 throwing a tone or something.
They might be. You never know. Anything's possible, but no problem with you this side. 5 by 9 into England, over.
Roger, roger. Yeah, I don't know. It's when it comes to the day that all I want to do is make trouble for other people trying to talk on the radio, that's when I'll turn mine off. What you think?
I think you should soldier on and keep up the good work.
Roger, roger. Well, I don't think you have to worry about me coming out here just to cause trouble. You know, that was one of the things that got me off of the radio back in the early 2000s. I was off of the radio for about 20 years before I basically got tricked back into getting on. But yeah, that's another story. But I'm glad it happened. But yeah, that was one of the reasons I got off back then, was because all of the hate and discontent.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad at the moment. Not on sideband anyway. This side of the pond it seems fairly friendly, so yeah, no problems. I bet the real reason you came back, it was like an itch you needed to scratch,
Roger. Yeah, we've got a lot of them on this side in the States. It's just it's ridiculous sometimes. Sometimes you turn on the radio and you'll go through you know, the 365 through 405, and it's just noise, music. The famous one, I'm sure y'all probably heard of, the 111 guy. It's just a loop of someone saying 111, and it's just crazy. But anyway, yeah, when I hear tones, that's what I think of is all that. So what part of England you in?
I'm in eastern England, about 150 miles northeast of London on the east coast, in the county of Norfolk, near to the city of Norwich, ever.
Roger, on the Norfolk and Norwich. Well, I'm 30 miles west of the edge of America, just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. Operator on this end is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. You got a beautiful, clear audio, my friend. You really do. Your station sounds well.
Thank you. Likewise, you're also very good. Looking at the meter, you were touching a 9 there, and your audio is crystal clear. So looks like neither of us have a problem, ever.
Roger, roger. Yeah, I've got some massive bleed over coming from that next frequency. It's killing me over here. I've got a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is the same as my call sign, UDX-483. As long as you don't mind, I'll put our audio out on my channel, and you can hear what it sounds like, Roger.
Oh, Roger, yeah. I think you've done that for me once before I had a listen, so yeah, that would be really good. It's always interesting to hear what you sound like the other end. I often do it with SDRs online just to check and see what's going on. But yeah, it's conditions today have been very strange this side. It's there 1 minute gone, the next very intermittent. But it's not been too bad. Only heard one station from Australia this morning. In the morning I usually hear 2 or 3, but just the one this morning, and he didn't last very long. And then it's really been Middle East, Balkans, that sort of thing, where so very typical summer skip. So I was really surprised to hear the US this afternoon. I didn't think they would be coming in, ever.
Roger, roger. Yeah, I heard you, and like I said, I didn't want to get on top of Victor. Something about me and Victor, we always cross paths, and there's no problem hearing us, so I didn't want to get in the middle of his QSO and mess him up, so stood back and then talked to him for a second, and it's like you said, everything went blank, and I got a 016 out of Ireland, and that's when I moved over here. But yes, 231. I recall talking to you before. I do. Yeah, if you get to hear this, you get to hear the noise I'm dealing with. But when you're keyed up, I don't hear it. But in between, it's just terrible.
Yeah, Roger, I get a bit of noise this side as well. I've got some filtering going on here at the moment to get rid of a lot of that. But yeah, it's an issue all, isn't it? This band, 11 meters, seems to be where everyone dumps their RFI, isn't it? So it's never very good. And the atmosphere doesn't help either, does it? But there we go. It's our band, so we just have to make the best of it, I guess, ever.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Yeah, yeah. They say it's type accepted. It has to accept interference from other things.
Absolutely. And that's ironical as well, isn't it, in a way, because in the old days it was us that causes interference to everybody else, wasn't it? Radios and televisions and the like. And everybody was complaining of the interference caused by the 11-meter band CBers. Well, now it's the other way around, isn't it? Everybody else causes interference to us, ever.
Yeah, Rod, you know, that being said, when I first got back in, the only power I had was a little 2-tube mobile linear that I had picked up for about $5 at a thrift store. And I powered it up, and lo and behold, it worked. And one Saturday afternoon, my mother-in-law called over to my wife, I've got something shorting in my bathroom. So I went over there, and I heard nothing. I looked around. The only thing in the whole bathroom was, of course, the light on the wall. There was a night light, and then there was a blow dryer. So after looking around and going back over there after she said it was happening again, I looked and I said, give me a minute. If it happens again, call Robin, that's my wife, and let her know. So I came over here and I keyed up and I made a couple audio calls, and next thing you know, the phone rings. I was coming through the blow dryer.
Oh, I can't say I've ever heard that one before. I wonder what you sounded like coming through a blow dryer. That would have been interesting. What if it was like Aurora? That's incredible. Well, it happens so, doesn't it? I've always been a great believer in using the fairly big filter on the output, a low pass filter, to try and help with that kind of thing. But of course, it only helps at frequencies above where we are, doesn't it? So if the RF level is just generally too high, then there isn't much you can do about it, is there? I've got an RF meter here as well, which registers the amount of actual electromagnetic radiation I'm generating, so I can take it around and actually take a reading to see how much I'm frying anything in the local area. But we try and keep it reasonable. I don't run a great deal of power here, only about 80 whiskey now.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, right now I'm only running about 180. Actually, I probably, for the most part, I don't get over about 150, 175 average out of an old Texas Star MC250. It's a Texas Stars. What I'm understanding by videos on YouTube is probably the first 2-pill produced by Texas Star. Not the first, but you know, their first model that was a 2-pill. And she works well. She works real good. So yeah, but like I said, you know, with those tubes, it was a whole different situation running those tubes anyway.
Yeah, well, we learn by these things, don't we? And eventually I think you get to figure out what you can use where in your locality, and how you can, you know, not generate too much trouble, but be able to work the band. I think it's a lot of it is trial and error, isn't it? Because you just don't know how things are going to work out, what devices you've got around you. But I think I've pretty much got it taped here, like yourself. I know what power level I can run and what areas I can use, which doesn't seem to upset anyone or any of the other devices in the house. But it's more the case now, as we said earlier, everybody else interfering with us. And it can take something very simple to wipe you off the band, can't it? All it takes is a neighbour to off eBay from China and plug it in, and all of a sudden you've got 5 and 9 noise and you're off the air, ever.
Yeah, Roger, for a long time I was dealing with 7S units of static. I never did figure that out. I unplugged everything in the whole complete shack, with the exception of the power supply and the radio, and I even went as far as switching between power supplies to see if it was the power supply. And I just ended up writing it off as to atmospheric conditions.
Well, it can be. I mean, there's so many sources of problems, isn't there? You've got neighbours' electronic devices, you've got power cables maybe arcing or not working well, you've got internet connections, broadband connections over the air, Wi-Fi. There's just so much. A friend of mine refers to it as an electronic fog that we live in, which I think is very apt. And it just depends how foggy your area is as to how well you can receive of it.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Yes, indeed, it is. It's something else. And another thing we're experiencing over here in the States, you know, is the ham operators that aren't getting any activity on the ham bands now are coming into the CB, but they're not coming to talk. They're coming just to wreak havoc, and they will they'll tell you they're ham, and then it could be a CB operator saying he's ham. I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell. Either way, you know, we get a whole lot of the agitators over here for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's one of the reasons I go to the free band a lot.
Roger, I often work on the higher up here. I'll work in this, say, 27.800, 900 up there to get away from the noise. And many times I've had some very nice chats with ham operators who haven't found anything on 10 meters, so they just come down a little bit and have a chat with me, and we get on very well. That's happened to me many, many times, Robert.
Roger, Roger. Well, over here, I can't mess around the 800s, or we. I've been told you don't have a license. What's your name and where are you? I said, do you really think I'm gonna tell you where I'm at? What my name is, really?
That's right. Yeah, you need to tell them. Your mother didn't bring up any stupid children, have it?
Well, I don't know. That's borderline, and that depends on who you ask too. But anyway, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Absolutely, yeah. But it is rather sad, though, in a way, isn't it, that when conditions are running, that this band, 11 meters, is absolutely chock-a-block with traffic. Signals all over the place, lots and lots of activity, and then you pass through that 28 megahertz barrier, and it's like a wilderness. It's just, you just imagine tumbleweed taking part, don't you? And then you might get one, maybe two signals, and all that real estate up there electronically, and there's nothing on it. It's just dead.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, it is something else, but you know, CB radio is dead. Nobody talks on the CB anymore. Yeah, sure enough. But yeah, I've actually I've been toying with at least getting my technician's license. Maybe my father, he's only got a little bit of time left on this earth, and he's a ham. He's had his call since, I want to say, mid to late 50s. He has one of the first WA calls, and I'm actually considering getting it so that I can get his call sign as a legacy call.
Oh, Roger, yeah, go for it. Why not? I don't think it's very hard. I've been a ham for decades, but I'm coming back here because it's more fun. It's just much more of a pleasurable experience on this band, isn't it?
Yeah, right. One of the one of the reasons I did it way back was, you know, it was so cliquish and so forth, and it was almost like, you know, I've never been to Catholic school, but what I imagined Catholic school to be was what it seemed like to me, and you know, everyone was so much against the fact that I was on 11 meters. You know, my dad won't touch it because he's got a ham license. I even, you know, me and my dad